It's probably the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, by far, yes. It's been 7 years of research. Parents don't know a lot of, like you said, you're not born with that knowledge.
Building your practice in your hometown, why not in London? Why not in New York? Why do you want to do it here? The more you travel, the more you realize how wonderful this place is.
I feel like a lot of us have, mainly what I most see in therapy is emotional isolation, loneliness. What we do a lot in therapy is we don't learn stuff, we unlearn stuff.
Welcome to Charlie and Sotogrande, the podcast where I explore the people, the passions, and the places that drive this beautiful community that Sotogrande is. In this episode of Charlie and Sotogrande Podcast, I'm joined by Maria Sancho, a proud member of the Sancho family, the driving force behind K Restaurant, one of the Sotogrande's most beloved institutions. Maria's story is deeply rooted in the community. She grew up in Sotogrande, studied at the Sotogrande International School, and then continued her academic journey in the United States. Today, she brings that experience back home, running her psychology practice right here in Sotogrande. We talk about her family influence, the values she carried with her, and how her passion for well-being and connection is shaping her role in this community. Maria, you're very welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
You're excited? Good, so am I. Let's start it simple. How would you introduce yourself, to someone who has never met you here in Sotogrande, who doesn't know who you are?
Okay, so I'm Maria Sancho. I'm a doctor in psychology. I'm founder of the MS Psychology Center.
Yeah.
I was brought up here in Sotogrande, so I have a very strong connection with the community.
Right.
And beyond that, it is a difficult question to describe yourself, but I would say I'm curious, I am passionate, and I'm deeply connected to helping others connect to themselves and to the world.
Clearly, with your profession, it comes out. Okay.
Yeah.
But you grew up in Sotogrande. Let's get into your profession later on. In a family that's very well known. Okay, the name is very well known, but also it's you've heard of the EastEnders, no? It's a program in the UK which is about a village, or in London, in the East End of London, and there's the Old Vic, which is the pub.
Okay.
And everything happens in the Old Vic, and I feel like the K, the restaurant, is like the Old Vic of that program, because everything happens there. You know, you meet people. I've seen my competitors selling on the table next door to me, all that sort of thing. So it all happens there. And you grew up around that place. Were you ever part of it? Did you ever, as a student, maybe work there? Tell me a little bit about growing up in the K.
I was always part of it. K turned 35 years old last week. I'm 34.
Okay.
So I was born there, literally.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
To start off, yes. So I think we have to put the context on what Sotogrande was when it began.
Okay.
So it was Sotogrande in the 90s, so it was completely different to what it is now when the K bar started.
Yeah.
It was a very intimate community. It was very village-like wise. So yeah, that was we started off. There weren't many people in Sotogrande. We only had the international school, but the old school, which was Cortijo in Paniagua. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Just here, yeah.
Right here, right here. And it was very small. It was just for like a few families. So it was very different to what it is now.
Right.
K Restaurant, we started off, my parents started off as a bar. So it was only drinks. And we've been growing since then. It was actually one of the first restaurants in Sotogrande.
Yeah.
So I believe it shaped the identity of Sotogrande, definitely, and grew up with Sotogrande, and especially with the port.
Yeah.
And then it started transforming into more of a restaurant. And yes, of course, I was involved. My dad has always been like very hard work and always been super involved in the business. And I'm an only child, so he wanted me to be as involved as him.
Right.
So he wanted me to go through all the works in the restaurant. So I've been in the kitchen, I've been outside when we had like an ice cream set too. So there, I've been going around all the areas of the restaurant, and I've been very involved.
But you didn't stay.
No, I did not. I got a completely different path.
But did you not fall in love with it, the restauración, or what was the reason? Did you, or was your passion elsewhere stronger than the passion of actually continuing with working in the hospitality business, I suppose.
Yes. Actually, my grandfather was also in hospitality. My dad was in hospitality, so it would have been like the natural, let's say, path for me.
Right.
But yeah, there was two things that made me change path. First of all, I had that love for psychology. I had that big, deep inner world inside me that I knew I had to get out some other way. And I have seen my dad. I think hospitality is a massive sacrifice. My dad has lived his life there, literally. 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So I knew I didn't want that for me also. So it's a bit of both.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, if you go to Tarifa, you go past, there's a Maison del Sancho. Is that part of your family business?
That was from my grandfather.
That was your grandfather?
Yeah, and now it's from all my uncles and my dad.
Okay. Yeah. So you involved, or he's involved with that as well.
Yes.
I didn't realize that. I sort of made the connection, but didn't know. And I remember your dad telling me years ago when I first came here and I got to know him a little bit, was that he made no money for about 5 or 6 years.
That's true.
And he only really made money when he bought the premises, which are, of course, the best premises in the port. Another thing he always told me as well, that people precipitate to water. So when you come there, he was the one who was very clever to raise the bar, the floor on the terrace, so you could actually look over the cars and still keep seeing the sea. So all of that was very, very clever and very intuitive of him to do. But it is an institution, and people, they have a love-hate relationship now, because it used to be a bar, and now it's a restaurant.
It is.
And since COVID, it's become a very posh restaurant, because you have the little strings, so you're not allowed to go in any way. You have to come in through the entrance, and but that's raised the bar, I think, for all of Sotogrande. So I think, in summary, I would say I think it's a better place, because you can still go and watch a football game or something now and again, and and he puts the big screen up. I don't know how often he does that, but it's still very good. Anyway, well done. So you cut your teeth working in all areas of hospitality. What would you say would be your strongest childhood memory of Sotogrande? I mean, as a person who grew up here, and some listeners might be thinking of what is it like in the 90s, or to be a child here. As you grow up, as you became a teenager, there are no places to go out. There are no nightclubs here. I mean, what did you do? What did the school kids do? Did parents drive you up the road to Marbella to nightclubs, and you were chaperoned, presumably, and looked after? It
was a bit of everything, because this was like so small and it was so safe. So since we were really small, we were just like going outside to each other's houses in the bicycle. No one was looking after us. It was just it was super free, super safe. Like I say, the school was very peculiar. The school was, I feel like, pioneering in education, so it was very creative. It had nothing to do with anything outside of Sotogrande, like any Spanish schools, anything like that. So we were all the time doing drama and singing and like out in the streets, and so it was it's very special. I've never heard anyone had that experience nowhere else. And when we were teenagers, it was mainly going to other people's houses around here, and then parents had to take us around to Marbella, Puerto Banús. I went to a boarding school when I was 13, so I wasn't in Sotogrande from 13 to like 16, 17. I wasn't here.
So
but
you
before
didn't go
and after
to the
that,
new school. You never went to the new school.
I went for 1 year. To the new school.
Okay. And then where did you go to boarding school?
I went to Switzerland.
Okay.
To Versoix. Boarding school there, and then I went to a boarding school to Madrid, and then I came back, and then I went back to Madrid, and then I went to the US, and then all over the place. You know how this is. But
all right. So what led you to psychology?
So, like I was saying before, I've always had, since I was small, I've always had, like, people fascinate me. Like, why we act the way we act, why we relate the way we do, how our early experiences shape how we become later on. And I had that inside of me since I was very small. So, I think when I went to the SIS, like I'm saying, that education, they really encouraged us to, like, think independently, reflect deeply on all the matters, all the things that we were working on in school. So I think that also helped a lot to give me that path. And then later in university, I saw that I already had like deeply rooted within me, like the way I thought, the way I reflected, the way I connected with others, that could actually be a career.
Yeah.
And that I could transform that into a way of actually supporting others. So so it was like a match made in heaven for me. So I did. Yeah, that's what I did.
The fact that you went to Switzerland and then to Madrid, I've seen on your website that you either worked or lived in Argentina as well. Yeah. The US, I think you went to university there as well.
Yeah, Austin.
That is very different to living, the country life and from a very small little place. So you've gone from there to like the world. It's a very big change. Was that something that you looked for, or your parents actually pushed you so that you would open up and unblinker yourself, and so that life was more than just Sotogrande?
See, I think once again the school had a lot to do with that, because in the school it was international school. So I had, since the beginning, I had friends from Russia, I had friends from UK, I had friends from the US, I had friends from Africa, I had friends so since I was used to an international community, which my parents weren't. My parents, none of them speak English, or for them
I wanted your father here.
Yeah, I know, I guess. That's why you have me, but But it was very international since the beginning. Yeah. So even though we lived here, we were always already out in the world. Yeah. You know, so it was kind of natural steps. All my friends did the same. Yeah. We all went out to study, or we went to universities, and then some of them have come back. So it was kind of natural for us to just be open to the world since the beginning.
Absolutely. I mean, both my kids went to international schools in various parts of the world, and I think meeting other cultures and other ways of living and other ways, it totally unblinkers you and makes you understand the world. Yeah, you don't have prejudices. People are a certain way because that's the culture. And when people come to Spain, people, in Spain it's like that. Yeah, and that's okay. Because over there it is different. It's not better or worse. It's just different. And it's a great thing here in Sotogrande that you've got so many different nationalities that I find it difficult to, get angry with anybody, because, you understand that that's the way you do it, where you come from. And you've got to accept, and I perhaps do things that upset other people. It's just because that's the way it is. And we're very unblinkered here. So I think we're very fortunate that I live in this, and the school now has 50 plus different nationalities. So it's gone, way out there, and that's so good.
It has, yes.
Yeah. So you've studied and practiced across Spain, we said the US, Argentina. What did each of these places do for you? Did you feel that you learned more from each one a little bit? Have you got some background there?
100%. Like I say, we are in a very strategic point. So, for example, me, when I work in the center, I work with people from the wide area of Campo de Gibraltar, right? So, for me to have been in Switzerland, for me to have been in Uruguay, I've been working in jails for 3 years also. Jails. Yeah. I've been working in all kind of socio-economic backgrounds, contexts, with a lot of different problems. And that has really helped me in my practice today, because here you see everything, literally, because it's such a wide community. So it's not only Sotogrande, it's also the towns around Sotogrande, and as we say, it's very international. So it has helped me understand other cultures and other backgrounds a lot better than if I've just stayed here. That would be definitely more difficult for me.
And your patients are international.
100%.
Yeah, yes. You get Spanish, you get from all different. And reading in your website, you deal with children, families, just about the whole breadth of different potential.
Children, adolescents, adults, families, couples. Right. We do evaluations. Yes. Yeah.
Tell us about your PhD. You did a PhD, didn't you?
I did. Yes.
Was that difficult?
It was long.
Was it long?
It was long. It was 7 years. Yeah. It was very long. It's probably the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, by far. Yes, it's been 7 years of research. I researched on adolescents, on how the upbringing shapes their brain and how that affected their well-being and mental health. So it was a 7-year research. It was a big one, and I defended it on the 29th of May this year. And they gave me the honors of cum laude, so that's really happy. And so
where was that based out of? The States or the US or?
No, here in the University of Cadiz.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
7 years.
7 years.
My gosh.
See, long. worth it, definitely.
I'm sure it is. I mean, and you got a first. How do they grade it?
Yeah, so it's you get like the, I don't know how you say that in English, sobresaliente.
Yeah. Okay.
You get like the top degree, and then that's sobresaliente, and then if you like an A+, and then if you get like more than that, that would be cum laude, like the honors, and that's the maximum you can get. Yeah.
Okay. I have a 2-year-old granddaughter who's coming next week, which is interesting. And when you talk about shaping a kid's brain, I think that's very interesting, because as a father, I had 2 daughters, and I was, in my late 20s, early 30s as a father, and nothing teaches you to be a father. It's one of those things that, nothing teaches a person to be a mother. It's just comes. Second time round, when you're looking at a child that is, almost your child, but it's your grandchild, it's a different way of looking at the child, I've realized. And I can analyze that child in a way that I've got experience, because I've been through it, and it's very different. And it was interesting that my daughter called me the other day and said, Ines has a problem. I said, what? She's biting at school. I said, she's biting? And I said, well, maybe she's defending herself. She says, well, yes, she got bitten by someone. So now she learned that, that actually hurts, and now she does it the other way around. It's incredible how a baby, you start shaping them from a very, very young age, can actually get into the way that they may even become as adults.
100%. I always describe it because it's a good way to see it. Like if we were buildings, those are the first bricks.
Right.
You do real estate, you know how important the first bricks are, right? It's like, it's the base of
the foundation,
everything. It's a foundation of everything you're going to build. It's going to be on top of that. So it is a very big thing, 100%. Okay. And it shapes, it doesn't only shape the way you behave and the way you feel, which it does. It shapes biologically parts of your brain, the way they function and the way they are, the size, everything. Right. It's absolutely amazing. Yes. Obviously, parents don't know a lot of, like you said, you're not born with that knowledge. And that's why we as psychologists, we want to, that's why I do a lot of research on that. That's why we want to translate that to the world. So people can actually get that information and do it properly, because I'm sure 99% of the parents want to do it as best as they can, but they just don't have the
skills,
the knowledge.
The knowledge,
Exactly. So that's why we're here. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on a little bit. Building your practice in your hometown. Why not in London? Why not in New York? Why do you want to do it here? Have you got that pull back to Sotogrande, which I think many people I've met here have come here, gone somewhere, done something, but you end up coming back. What drove you back? Just family, friends, lifestyle? Like you say, I think when I was here at the teenage years, there was one point where I was like, this is not enough, this is too small, I want to go away, I want to see other things. And when you're outside and you see, like I've had the fortune to be able to travel around and lived in other places, and you value this a lot more. Like I don't know if there's a better place than this in the world. That's exactly it, I think. That the more you travel, the more you realize how wonderful this place is. It has the perfect climate. It has the sun. It has the security. It has access to anything international you want. It has good gastronomy. It has, you're safe here. There's so many things going on here that just it's a very good place to be. And yes, I wanted to give back to the community in a way. I knew it was a place where that service wasn't still covered, or not as much. I had the opportunity, I spoke English, I spoke Spanish, I could cover a wide, diverse part of the community. And to be honest, it wasn't part of like a master plan. So I came back, I was doing my PhD studies here, and in the meanwhile I had finished my psychology degree, and I wanted to just work independently on what I loved. In the meanwhile, I was doing my PhD studies. I just never thought it was going to become like as big as it did.
So yeah, now we've got a big team and it's working very well. But that wasn't the start of.
So how long have you had the practice open?
8 years.
It's been open 8 years.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So it has grown, and again, I noticed on your website you got 2 or 3 other people there.
Yeah, the moment we're 6.
6 of you.
Same.
Okay.
They're not all on the website. We have to put them. We're 6 at the
First come, first serve. Otherwise, you have to be in the page 2.
Exactly.
And your clients are basically Sotogrande or up and down the coast a little bit?
Up and down the coast.
Yeah.
Yes, and we also do online, so we also have other people from outside. Yeah.
And do you go places as well, or
No.
you do everything within? Okay.
Yep.
And you balance. I think you said. Repeat again what it is you offer.
The services?
Yeah, the services.
Yeah. We do intervention, children, adolescents, adults, families, couples, and evaluations, psychological evaluations.
By evaluations, you mean if I had my team of people here that I wanted to go and understand their personality, you could do you can do a Myers-Briggs on them, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally, what we people most demand is neuropsychological evaluations. Normally for kids for schools.
Right.
So like autism, ADHD, dyslexia, things that so we can help them with some kind of learning support.
Yeah.
But yes, we also have evaluations for adults, personality, intelligence, ADHD.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So if you wanted that, obviously when you're adults, you have to have their consent, and we would give the information to them. But yes.
Of course. I've done that many times. I mean, in my career, I've had to do that, and yeah, it's. I mean, you end up looking at it because it's actually there's no right or wrong in personalities, particularly. You know, it's just that but it helps a team leader to understand what strengths, weaknesses, and you know, I was an INTJ. I mean, someone says you're not an introvert. Says I am an introvert. You know, and a lot of people that are out there all the time are doing so because they're fighting their introvertism, if that's the right word, and just go out and do it. So you know, I was very different on paper compared to what I thought. And so you know, it's good for building a team, understanding strengths, weaknesses, what ways people think and behave. You know,
definitely.
You need a joker, you need a serious person, you need the
maintain the balance.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So you've got your hometown practice. You do all of this. What's next? Are you going to just grow that, or are you going to have another office in Madrid? Have you got plans for that?
I've got loads of plans now with the PhD. Like a whole new path has opened in the sense of I want to teach in university. So that's something I've done, but now I can do as a Professor titular. I don't know what the name is, but so yeah, looking forward to that. And I'm also getting a lot more into research, so that's like a step before the intervention. So it's kind of research. Let's see what is working and what works with children, what works with adolescents, and then carry that or translate that to the intervention, back to the community, back to the parents, back to schools, whatever. Right. So yeah, if we can do the whole range, as in research, therapy, and then teaching, that would be, that's my goal for the moment. And of course, growing this is kind of inevitable. It keeps growing, so keep just,
it's once the ball starts growing, it's like a snowball. You know, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but you can't, stop it really.
No.
You can jump off.
But I don't want to either. So. Yeah.
Just moving on. Away from the business and the K and all this, what does Maria do on a day off?
On a day off? Well, I think like just recently I've started to reflect on how I've been very into my professional goals. So just recently I've started, like in the past few years, understanding how important it is to play, to rest, to all that other part. So I'm really growing up that leisure part of me, so seeing what I like, doing hobbies, kind of connecting more with me, with myself, without being in the professional role.
Does that mean riding a horse and playing polo, or does that mean playing golf, or does that mean sailing, or does that mean which other Sotogrande pillars?
See, none of them actually. No.
None of that?
No.
Right.
I do a lot of I connect a lot with nature. I do paddle. I love to solo travel, so I do that. I love going to the beach.
Right.
Yeah. So journaling.
Friends going
of
out.
course.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Great. I've recently got into journaling, and I did it because I suppose you hear about it on Instagram, and once you press a thing about it, it keeps coming up all the time. And mindfulness, and all this thing, which is, when I was your age, this was a softy thing. That was like real men don't do that sort of thing. It becomes almost a bit weird. I did have one when I was working in Australia. I think it was that we had someone come out, and psychologist probably, and did all this work on the team and everything else. And they came out with telling me, because of the boxes I ticked, presumably, more about what they about myself, that was actually, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I was saying, "Oh, that's very true," which I never thought. So I was a lot softer maybe than I thought I was. This hard guy that could do anything and go anywhere, and if I came back alive, I'd failed. It was one of those things.
Yeah.
Do you see more of that now with people that it's different? I find people that do get up early, do think about the day, do spend more time looking after their health, which is both physical and mental, of course. This is something which we talk about, which is quite common, which is I think very positive, because you can begin to understand other people's points of views, and you are acceptant. You accept other ways of people thinking. Yeah. Is that something that you feel you see, and you can enjoy, and not enjoy is not the wrong word, but appreciate?
It's definitely a change. Like, there's been a massive change in this generation compared to my parents' generation, or how they connect with themselves, people are really into self-development, into understanding themselves, into taking care of their emotions, of their health. That was just not happening as much a generation before us, and I think it's super positive. In Sotogrande, what I'm like, my practice here, but I could also presume it's general. I feel like a lot of us have, mainly what I most see in therapy is emotional isolation, loneliness, that kind of, maybe that mask you were talking about, that thing of like trying to be someone else for the world, or what we think other people are demanding of us, or what we think we should do to just feel successful or feel, and that really leaves our true self like really lonely, hidden in somewhere where only we have access. So I think journaling, I think all the things we're talking about really connect you to that part of you. And just seeing that what we do a lot in therapy is we don't learn stuff, we unlearn stuff, kind of thing, like what socially our life have taught us not to show that part of me, because that part of me is not accepted, or don't do this because that makes me look or and kind of unlearn that and go back to ourselves and see like we're good as we are. I think we're getting there little by little, obviously. This generation is nearer to that path than the last ones. Yes,
I know in the UK, because I watched a bit of UK news now and again, is that the social media, the government is being asked to, by lots of different bodies, to actually intervene and ban social media to kids, even up to the age of 18. I mean, I think that's difficult, but as my 2-year-old granddaughter talks to me visually, and she knows that she can see Cha-Cha, she calls me, on the screen, and that's become part of her life. And in a way, with AI and everything else that's progressing, if you don't expose children to this medium, I suppose, they will not learn, and it's like learning to write late in life. So it's a very difficult situation where you can the world is at your fingertips, really.
But the world has a lot.
There's a lot of bad as well. A lot of very, very bad nonsense going on. And it's a difficult topic. It really is.
It's very difficult. Because we're starting. I think now with the IA, it is the biggest movement after the internet, I would say. Like this this has definitely changed the game. And that's growing before, like it's growing faster than us psychologists or us working with mental health can actually keep up. So we kind of regulate that. At the same time, we don't want kids, because that's another thing, like what we find now in schools. So mom doesn't want my kid to use the phone, but all the rest of the kids are using WhatsApp or communicating through WhatsApp or through YouTube, Instagram, whatever. So if we take that away from him, we're also taking kind of a sense of belonging from the group, which is not good either. But at the same time, like you say, in the internet, there's the world. So good, bad, things that they're not prepared to integrate, to understand, that are not going to do any good to them. Then we have the cyberbullying, a lot of other things that have come up since the technology has developed. So definitely we have to regulate that, and we have to find the balance. At the moment, I think it's kind of the efecto péndulo. So at the beginning, it's kind of, it explodes, and then we'll have to bring it back and see how we can make that work for all of us.
The pendulum effect, absolutely. Maria, thank you very much. Is there a question you think that I should have asked you that I haven't?
No, not necessarily. No, I'm happy to have had this chat with you. I think in Sotogrande is kind of more and more embracing that emotional well-being as part of the lifestyle too, which I think is very important. It's not only the external things, but also the internal things, relationships, identity, meaning that also shapes the well-being, right? And I feel that we're going down that way now. So I hope that we continue going that way and feeling more open, connected, and I'm here to help with that.
Good. I might start a Tai Chi class or something.
Sorry?
A Tai Chi.
Oh, okay.
That will meet everything. But anyway, Maria, thank you so much for being with us. I think it's a very interesting chat, and it's. I wish you all the best. I'm sure you'll do very, very well. And let's see. We'll catch up. I'm sure maybe at the K.
Okay. Right? Thank you. Thank you very much.